Having a child with cancer is one of the most painful and difficult situations a family can face. We see that every day at Children's Hospital Michigan, and it is heartbreaking. In this country, 1 out of every 285 children under the age of 20 are diagnosed with some type of cancer, and yet despite that high ratio, only 4% of federal funding goes towards pediatric cancer research.
So warning signs for brain tumor in children are actually not like most people would think, because most of the signs are patients and children, which is most of the time in the younger age group, between age of anywhere from 2 to 8, that they are actually stumbling. They fall on a carpet, they walk on one side, they kind of lose their balance. And most of the time, parents would count that as, oh, this child's being clumsy, falling on carpet, and it's toddler being toddler. But I think those are the signs what we call long track signs, and ultimately it starts affecting their eye movement, and those are the early signs.
They're bruising more than usual, they're having fevers without any obvious infections, they're losing weight, or they notice some swelling, like either maybe the lymph nodes in their neck, or maybe they've realized that their abdomens, their stomachs are more distended, or they're having unexplained bone pain without really having a history of any injury.
Then patients can have seizures and some of the later symptoms. Vomiting without any nausea and a headache, which is sometimes expressed by children as just fussiness, are also some of the other common symptoms.
Now, fortunately, when you look at the federal level for funding, they look at how many total cases of cancer are there. Should they be devoting millions of dollars to childhood cancers, which represent about 1% of total cases diagnosed each year in the United States, or should they devote all the resources to the large number of adult types of cancers? So that's a challenge that we have always faced. So having the support of foundations like the Children's Hospital Michigan Foundation is really critical for us to continue making progress.
We truly hope that we at least begin unscratching the surface in terms of knowing why minority children do not respond to the current treatment as well, and their outcomes are about 15% inferior compared to the Caucasian counterparts. And if we can just begin to understand what are the genetic changes, even if we cannot design and develop treatment by end of this project, if we can understand the genetic landscape of minority children, that would be a great beginning.
Well, this project is extremely important to the foundation because I think for the very first time, at least for the foundation, we've brought together several organizations. Beyond that, the research that they're doing, the value that both Mott and Children's Hospital are bringing to the research is tremendously impressive. And so that will make the research, I think, eventually something that will be changing lives in many, many different communities in the country and hopefully the world.
Well, as a leader in pediatric cancer, it is our duty and our obligation to make sure we are on the cutting edge of research, to make sure, like other cancers, especially brain cancer, but other cancers have very high cure rates, and we have been celebrating those for many, many years, and we need to get into the exact same space with pediatric brain cancer. So, and all of the funds for Derby for Kids are going towards that research, so it'll make a huge impact on this hospital and on this community.
Now, I just want to continue to thank the support of the foundation and everybody who supports the foundation also.
I think I again want to thank the Children's Hospital of Michigan Foundation, Chad Tuff Foundation for their generous support, and those folks who are supporting this foundation.
And as it relates to the Derby, you might have noticed I'm wearing a bright tie. This is the official 2019 Derby for Kids bow tie, so I thought I'd wear it as an appropriate sign of how great the event's going to be.
Please join me on May 4th at the Country Club of Detroit for the 3rd annual Derby for Kids.